I just want the anime community to like me. Yeah, I just want to see some cool AMVs or cosplay with my song. Okay. Hello my people, so I like to be honest on this channel, and I kind of want to start this series like it to show that you actually like this series, because that does show me if you like a video and if you want to see more of that. But I kind of do answering questions I've avoided, and I'll talk about serious subjects in my own life. But now that there's a pandemic, I mean, not that there was crazy stuff going on before, there's nothing interesting in my life for me to share really. So I decided, let's just talk about some TMI questions, and honestly things that I'm like, why do we not talk about this? Why is there this stigma about talking about this? Because if I would have known about certain things, I could have been more educated, and I kind of want to be a big sister sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're my age, just a friend that's giving you, really how it is. So I honestly haven't looked at the questions. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I asked you guys in Instagram stories. Follow me there. Follow me there. Come on, I have a cat. Show them your cuteness. Fender, use subscribe attack. That means you all subscribe if you think he's cute. You're so cute, you're so cute. I said, ask me some TMI questions you're scared to ask your mom/guardian. And a lot of these are girl talk, and as a cis woman, I can answer questions about certain things, but I'll just answer what I can based off of my personal experience. There are certain things I just can't answer on because it's not my place. And that's actually something I've been thinking about. There's so many things I would love to bring to my platform, but it wouldn't make sense if I was the one talking about it, because I'd rather have someone that actually experiences talk about it. I would feel uncomfortable, and it would be cool because I would still, I feel with the following, it would be so cool to, use that and be able to share that with someone that is a really cool story that's different from mine. Okay, cool. All right. Are you supposed to shave down there? Okay, well, and I feel uncomfortable talking about it. I'm like, why? Why should I feel uncomfortable? So I'm just gonna talk about it to feel less uncomfortable, because I think it should be a conversation. Okay, so honestly, I had to research this on my own, and I didn't even think about this until a year ago, and I'm 21, and I didn't even shave until I was 20, which is okay. I think ultimately it's up to you, if you feel better one way versus another way, totally up to you. And honestly, growing up, I always thought you had to do that, and I realized that's kind of a thing that is just another societal pressure. I think, it's ultimately up to you, and you're with the wrong person if they don't want you to feel your best. Ooh, this is such a good one. Okay, I'm terrified to turn 18 because of creepy men. I can't be oh, I'm underage anymore. Is that rational? That is completely rational. What I was saying was, I feel that totally makes sense, and honestly, I feel this anger because when I was young, I felt I was put in a lot of really uncomfortable situations, and I felt people didn't take me seriously as a minor as well. So I feel it can honestly happen at any age, and it's a matter of, finding people that will support you through something, and things are different when you are a minor. It makes sense. Ultimately, if you're experiencing something uncomfortable with creepy men or just anyone taking advantage of you, in your head, you can't convince yourself that, okay, because I'm not a minor anymore, this doesn't matter, this isn't a problem, this isn't, trauma, or this is something that should happen to me, Okay, I'm just gonna answer this one because whatever. I'm not gonna say it out loud, and I'm gonna beep it because I'm absolutely going to get demonetized, but I'll put enough of the word there where you know what I'm talking about. Yes. I think, if you don't know yourself, the better you know yourself, the more confident you get with what you like, and then you can tell other people that, and you can be super direct instead of just like, instead of pretending you like stuff and not being honest. And especially as a woman, I feel as if it is absolutely looked down upon. I even have friends that like don't think women should do that, and that's something I like completely disagree with. I think it's healthy, and I like don't understand why there's such stigma with females doing this, especially. Like, females can't be open about it as much. I have a lot of friends that are really open about it, which is cool, and then I have friends that like don't like kind of feel that pressure, I think. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say here is no matter what your gender identity is, it's a normal thing to do. Ooh, okay, how do I ask a girl to, they're gonna demonetize me, with me respectfully, but also without ruining the moment, huh? If you're like worried about ruining the moment, it might just not be the right moment, you know what I mean? But I think it's completely fine with a partner to like talk about it, I guess, in like a very general way. Like, hey, so like, would you wanna do that tonight? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, or even like set it up so they know, you know what I mean? I think it's only awkward if you think it's awkward, and you can just have a really honest conversation and be like, we should do this, are you down? So I don't even know anymore, how do I tell them my relationship's good for me? Okay, so I feel like, especially when I'm in a long relationship, I kind of feel, and then after I'm like even thinking about a breakup, I think, you know, I'm so used to them being in my life, like how could I live without talking to this person every day? And it's like, it's very difficult to remember that you did function before this person at some time. Honestly, like, even ask your friends, like your best friends that know you, you know, like, hey, like was I a better person? Was I functioning better? Did I seem happier like before I started dating this person, or even like the beginning of the relationship, like that sort of thing? And then just like realize, I guess, you know, how this person, I don't want to say contributes, because it's not this like thing where it's like, okay, I give you money, you bake my food, like that's, no, ew, no, that's like some white picket fence stuff I don't want. Okay, at what age did you start having intimate relationships? Not until I was 20 years old. So if anyone feels insecure, I want you to know, and no, I have friends that are like 26 and have never had intimate relationships or even any relationship, and they are happy and independent and thriving. So there's definitely no pressure. I was even in a relationship when I was young, and I didn't feel comfortable having it be an intimate relationship. So it's okay, there's no rush. Honestly, like I think a relationship can still be very valuable, and a relationship is still a relationship, you know, regardless of if there's intimacy, for example, you know. Okay, well, definitely for safe, to have safe lesbian intimacy, there we go, that won't get me demonetized. I guess you just mean like intimacy between two women. You know, asking that person like, hey, like when's the last time you were tested? And also like after, you know, even after asking that, like getting tested just in case sort of thing. That's important. I feel like there shouldn't be a stigma about asking people like when was the last time they've been tested, because that sort of thing is what, you know, makes people scared to not want to get tested in the first place. I don't know why there's stigma around it. I'm like, okay, we're just being safe. As a bi girl, I guess, like, how do you have gay sex? Depends, because obviously, I believe, because obviously, you know, women can have different body parts. Trans women are women, so totally depends. I think there is a stereotype where, you know, if there isn't any form of penetration, people think that it is not actual being intimate, and I'm trying not to get demonetized, and that is not true at all. Ooh, this is a good question. Why would people be ashamed to get a divorce? Sometimes it's for the best. Your parents getting divorced is trauma and is something difficult to go through, but I think, you know, instead of saying that, you know, oh, you're lucky your parents got divorced instead of staying together, because I think it's important to acknowledge that is a traumatic experience for anyone to go through. It's also okay to acknowledge that it is also a traumatic experience to have parents that stayed together when they should have been divorced, which is something I think about a lot, honestly. Someone asked if there's two girls being intimate, does it mean that you've... Yes, it does. And if you watch my video that I posted recently, I kind of went through an experience where I was with a guy and he really invalidated me. Also, like, self-worth does not even, like, that V word has nothing to do with your self-worth, regardless of having it, not having it, doesn't matter. You're still a cool person. Ooh, what's the scariest thing you've had to face? Okay, this is something, like, I posted it briefly on my Twitter, and it honestly, like, people were really nice about it, but I deleted it because I was like, this might have been too much information. I might have went too far, but you know what, I'll talk about it. So, when I was just to turn 17 years old, I think it's Baker acted is the word, but basically I was being overworked, and I was traveling alone, and no one cared about, I felt like no one cared about my health, and you know, I wasn't able to eat or sleep for days to do this work, and no one was traveling with me, and I wasn't able to check into the hotel because I was a minor, and I felt really unloved. Long story short, I was all alone, I was sleep deprived, I was a minor, and I traveled across the country, and I felt like no one was caring about me, and I just felt unloved, and like no one cared about my well-being, and I was so angry at the point that the hotel wouldn't let me check in that I was a minor that I said something that was very dangerous towards myself. And do I regret it? No, because I think I needed to. I think you know, being hospitalized at that time was the best effort, because I was just not safe for myself at the time. Like, I don't regret it. I don't even think I was being dramatic. It was like a very traumatic experience, and looking back at it now, I'm like, I should not have been through that. Like, the fact that, you know, no one cared about my well-being at that time is something that's still really difficult for me to face. And also, like, I wasn't an adult. I couldn't sign myself out. My mom would have to sign me out, or my dad, and a guardian. And my parents lived in New Jersey, Florida at the time, maybe, Florida. So basically I was stuck in Detroit with no way of contacting people and telling them that I was Baker acted. Ultimately, that was kind of what got me to first start opening up about mental health on my channel, and like, and educating myself and learning, and I think it was not something I would wish on anyone, but it definitely made me stronger. Okay. Why is it seen as attention seeking to love your body? It only makes me more insecure. Oh my God, since being more confident, like, people do not realize I am wearing, and it doesn't even matter if this was the first, in my day-to-day life, like, stopped wearing, like, am so dependent on huge t-shirts. So like, when I do feel myself and I'm having a moment, to have people just like shut me down and say I'm doing it, you know, for attention, when honestly it's just a reflection of how I'm feeling that day and how good I'm feeling about myself. Like, that's just, it's so, cause I'm like, now at this point in my life, I consider myself to be a very confident person, but I actually do like feel, ever since I was young, like I hated, oh my God, we would all have to like sing our names in elementary. This is a perfect example of my personality. So we all would have to like sing our names like in music class, be like, my name's Isabella, whatever. And I would always go, my name's Jessie. Like I wouldn't even sing, or I would just go to the bathroom at that time, or I would just have a panic attack. I'm not kidding. I hated having that many people look at me, which is really ironic, I know, but there's also like nothing wrong with wanting attention. Like you feel good about yourself, like yeah, I'm hot, I want some people to look at me, okay. You know, you never know, you know, maybe how hard it was for that person to look in the mirror and feel confident in that outfit and wear it to school, and then like to have someone say it's attention seeking, like no. This was like really serious. I need to make a joke. Emo Shrek. Okay, we're good. We released it. There we go. Normally he falls asleep to heavy metal. I say with my like rainbow and pink. I'm telling you, heavy metal puts him to sleep. I love my emo cat. Okay, anyways, so follow Fender on Instagram, follow me on Instagram for memes. I'm really hoping this made someone feel more comfortable, or having this conversation just like defeated some stigma around certain things that we're told not to talk about, because this was definitely not easy for me, but I'm like, okay, maybe it's, you know, it's more of a productive video and conversation because it was uncomfortable. Cool. And if YouTube is watching this, this is done purely for educational reasons. Do not demonetize me because I need to pay for my music, which you should all stream Villain. Thank you. Really being direct here. Okay, what do you have to say for yourself? And scene.